Hey guys, this is Soraka from StarrySky Gaming, and welcome to my 9.10 patch rundown video. So let's get straight into it, and then we'll go over my thoughts and views about the patch, and maybe a little bit more. Okay, so let's get started. Hello friends, welcome to 9.10, one where we greet the one, the only, the perfectly wonderful Yuumi. This patch was, while smaller than the last, contains changes to some of the more spicy champions across various skill brackets like Master Yi, Ribbon, Vayne. We're also following up on some of the changes we made to Soraka last patch to continue to encourage her ally support in playstyle and buffing a few champions who have been faltering as of late. In addition, we've made some adjustments to Conqueror and Guinsoo's RageBlade due to their open performance and must-pick natures for their core users. Meow, let's jump right in. Okay, so first things first, we have some amazing skin line coming out from the Hero Academy, Academia anime. Inspired skins, which they've named as Battle Academia skins. As I say, I've done the PB, I've looked. Skins are fantastic. Love the Ezreal one, love all of them to be honest, but the Ezreal and Lux one are by far the best, well, for me personally, and also the Yuumi one. Also the new champion that this one, for people who don't know, it is a support enchanter. It's a feline one, so it's going to be very popular amongst the player base. But for people who have not caught up on it and the skills for the champion, then we'll quickly go over them. Okay, so her passive is Pop and Block. To sum up this ability quickly is that when you auto attack someone, it will give you mana back and it will give you a permanent shield. Once the shield is popped, once the shield has took the damage, it will pop, but it will stay on you permanently until it's received the full damage. Now, this we're going to explain a bit on, but also you can also apply the shield to your ally, but we'll cover that in a little bit in a second. Okay, so Q, Yuumi fires a missile that deals magic damage to enemies hit. If the missile is in flight long enough, it deals bonus damage and slows enemies. So that's what standard does. But the main effect from it though is what it does when it's attached. Now your attach mechanic is your W and me. It's pretty much you W to someone and you're like a Pix from Lulu's shield. You just jump to someone and you become untargetable. So if you jump to someone and you've procced your passive, you'll give your ally the shield. Pretty much basically it's a permanent shield until it's took the damage. So that's how you give your ally a shield. You do your auto, jump to an ally, you give them a shield. Now with your Q, standardly if you're detached, you hit your Q, it travels in a straight line. If it travels more than a second, it does additional damage and slows. Now, when you're attached to someone, you have control of the projectile with your cursor. So literally just move the cursor around the map and the Q will follow it. Anything in flight for more than a second, it will take additional damage and slow, which means you can direct it through terrain, bushes, behind minion waves, yada yada yada. Now, the best thing about the You and Me skill, the W one, is yes, you can attach to someone, yes, you become untargetable, but it's mostly the adaptive force you give. Best way to think of this is the more AP you build, the more AD you give your ADC. The more AD the ADC builds, and the more AP he gives you. It's adaptive force. And also, you can dash W to any ally with no cooldown, so you can go for all 5 members in a team fight or reposition. So E is your heal, so it's Kotsumi, so you get 2 charges, and it heals people more based on how low they are on health. I think the threshold is 20%, and you get like double heal. And you can do this when you're attached to people. So if you do it yourself, you get healed movement speed. You attach to someone, you heal them and give them movement speed. It's a good skill, simple but effective. Her ultimate is things like a sonar armor. It shoots it in a line. It does 7 waves. Anyone that is hit by 3 waves or more gets rooted, and it deals magic damage. And yes, you can use this ult and reposition on ally champions. So you can literally move your ult from, say, your Twitch, straight to a Sejuani, who's on the front line, etc., etc. And you can heal them during the same time, but you can't auto attack. And that's pretty much to sum up abilities. Now for me, I personally think this champion is going to be released in a weaker state because people are just going to attach and then just AFK or not do much. It's going to be heavily exploitable. Just pick hard CC, like a Leona, an Alistair, and just all in them, kill them, and then Yumi's exposed. And Yumi won't be able to do anything by herself since her main mechanic is to be attached. I already have the runes and so forth I'm going to be using, which obviously I'm going to do a video later on, because I have my thoughts on views on the champion and how it should be played, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Overall, I think it's going to be released as a B tier champion. I don't think it'd be super strong. I think it should be underwhelming until people get used to playstyle. But overall, a B tier champion. Playable, but not super strong. Okay, let's go back to the patch. So you covered Yumi, great skin line, absolutely love him. Brand, basically they've buffed his E. They've given it a little bit more damage to make his wave clear better. Now, for people that didn't know, Emax second was his strongest build on mid lane. So W, E, and then Q. Obviously in support, you go like W, Q because you want to stun up a little bit more, and your E helps with wave clear. So that was the strongest one. So they're buffing his E to incentivize mid lane Brand. Here is some extra help with your wave clear. That's it. He will see a little bit more play rate, but it won't push him to top tier status. It'll just make him a little bit more better. It'll just make him better in the mid lane, really. Just literally general better wave clear. Nothing too special. It won't really help him out too much in the support role, because you don't really want to be, wave clearing for your ADC, unless you want to get flamed. Caitlyn. I absolutely hate playing against Caitlyn. This champion is... A good Caitlyn will wreck people, because it would be able to abuse their traps and be able to abuse the long range. This champion is safe and generally good. I think Caitlyn's a heavily underrated ADC. But anyway, it's not good going down that road. Basically, they're just giving more damage to the headshot, so it is rewarding you now. Well, I should not say headshot. It is giving you more damage on your W's. So when you place a trap, people step in it, it's giving you 20 more damage at the early ranks. Early to mid game ranks. So it just means that a good Caitlyn now will have the kill pressure they want with their traps and get rewarded for it. Because I'm sure there's been plenty of times where a Caitlyn has played well and not secured the kills that they've needed for, just because they've lived with that little bit of it. They've basically gone away with like sub 20 health. Now you have the damage you need. So you will see Caitlyn a bit more now because of the early game damage and traps, but it won't affect the people that can't use traps very well. Still overall a decent champion, but just not meta. I don't know if Caitlyn's maybe a B tier or A tier, but personally I think Caitlyn is probably around the A tier mark. I think I would put her there anyway because I play support, and I think Caitlyn can literally take over the lane phase. Fiora. Simply put it, this one for is that her riposte was not fully giving her the ability to block people's passives. Well, as in the description, right? It will basically say, you know how Braum has a 4-hit passive. You hit people, you auto people, on a 4th hit, it will stun them. Fiora before that wasn't able to do that on every champion with riposte, so Braum was still able to stun her. Now she has that quality of life change. So a good Fiora will basically allow her to get the free proc passive on her, and then when someone else wants to apply the 4th hit on them, she will now be able to riposte and then deny the stun, which is actually quite big and gives her that little bit of extra safeguard. But yeah, this is a quality of life change. It probably shouldn't impact it too much, win rate wise, but it's just a quality of life change, good change. Anything that can help Fiora out is always welcome. Well, I say that and then she kills me. Graves. Okay, Q damage. I'm not surprised to see Grave. He's got skin out, so they want to give him a little bit of a buff, but obviously nothing too strong though, because Graves is an insanely strong jungler when it comes to wave clear and not taking much damage when he's clearing the jungles. And he has too much damage anyway. But they're literally just making his detonation on his Q. Do a little bit more damage early to mid game. Well, mostly mid. Well, you max its ability first, don't you? So first few levels of it, it's just going to do more damage. It's just going to help his wave clear out a bit more. I see it help it early to mid though, but if you look at it though, it's actually all over all ranks. This is going to do more damage. Not like he needs it. Yeah, his win rate would go up by like, I don't know, maybe 1% or something. Maybe 1.5. You'll see him a bit more in the jungle, but I wouldn't like to see him too much. Overall, just decent buff for him. It'll make his new skin sell well. Yi changes. I don't like Yi. I don't like this champion one bit. It's just literally the most brain dead champion in the game apart from Janna. Sorry to all those Janna mains and Yi mains, but yeah, that's just my personal preferences. Basically, so let's read over it. Q cast time removed, adjusted target scanning, whatever that means. W cast time removed, E no longer grants AD while on cooldown, R movement speed increased and adjusted. We want to increase the satisfaction of the key parts of Master Yi's kit while nerfing him in ways that help out those who don't know how to counter him. Those with much more experience find Master Yi simply better or worse, but he won't continue to dominate in average play. Basically, he's a low elo killer. Alpha Strike, cast time no longer... Yeah, okay, fair enough. If Master Yi has struck fewer than the maximum amount of times he can with Alpha Strike, and there are no other nearby eligible targets, he will now strike the same target for 25% of the damage before checking for nearby ally. Okay, so this makes his dueling potential a lot stronger. This alone would just make him a lot better pick, maybe in higher reloads. It's definitely a quality of life change for him. That alone will just make him a better jungler early game. So yeah, you'll see more play because of that Q change, but let's move on to the rest. W, Meditate. No longer takes 0.05 seconds to cast. Okay, fair enough, pointless, but whatever. E, Wuju style. No longer grants 10% attack damage while not on cooldown. Anything that takes attack damage away from a jungler like this is going to hit them heavy. So I'm not too sure how I feel about that though. It's just a straight up nerf. Highlander, movement speed. 25, 30, 45 total movement speed, down now changed to 35, 45, 55 bonus movement speed. See, that's a massive nerf. Total movement speed is always better. Bonus movement speed is just like second. So they're saying this isn't like a nerf. Did they say it was a buff? Our movement speed increased and adjusted. Yeah, it may be increased, but they've increased the bonus movement speed, not total movement speed. They've changed it. So those two are straight up nerfs. This just makes his dueling potential a lot stronger. With quality of life changes, really. A better early game jungler. But this, pointless. This, straight up nerf. Overall, it's going to make him weaker. I don't know how it's going to affect his gameplay, though. But that's a good change. But this overall, yeah, it's just going to hit him. This is more of a nerf to me than it is buff. And it's, yeah, just straight up nerf. Don't know what they're doing, really. Riot sometimes. Riven, Q cooldown now scales, E increased. So we're looking to target a consistent point of frustration with players facing when they're playing against Riven. Her uptime defense is a spam, yeah. Okay, basically that her maneuverability and her shield was always too much, allowing her to be a frustrating champion. So what have they done? Q cooldown, broken wings. Cooldown 13 auto ranks down to 12, from 12 down to 10. Don't see why they needed to do that for. There was nothing wrong with her Q as it was. Like she needed that, but whatever. E, Valor. Cooldown from 10 down to 6, 14 down to woof. That's a big nerf. See, for me, it was never about her Q. Already had like 3 dashes and was frustrating enough. But the main reason that I think Riven was too strong, or was just strong in general, was because of the E. It's a dash and it's a shield. Right, and you build cooldown reduction, all this kind of stuff, so it just made her too maneuverable, and there's so many times where she should die, or shouldn't be able to get out of situations, but this alone just made her too maneuverable, too tanky, and she has tons and tons of damage, with already 3 dashes on her Q. So, you know, too much mobility, too much tankiness, and tons of damage. Overall, probably the strongest champion in the game. I'd probably be more scared of a Riven than I would do a Kayle. So they've nerfed this significantly, so this is going to be nice. It's going to hit her quite hard. Well done, I like the change. Q though, they're just giving her a compensating buff. Don't know why, didn't need it. They should have just took this out and just done this. That would have been fine. Didn't need to change this. This would have been enough to bring it down in line. It was a good way to hit her. But yeah, Riot. I honestly don't know what you do sometimes. I know she's seen a lot of play and people are enjoying Riven. But yeah, just take this out, nerf this, fine, job done. Shaco, R-cast adjustments. We're modernizing Shaker's ultimate. Basically, 200 range in the direction Shaker's cursor, facing the clone, 200 range. So it used to be 50 to 250, now it's 200 flat, and you're able to control it. Quality of life change should help Shaker out quite a bit, especially with his ultimate. Yeah, I can see it's helping him out quite a bit. It won't make him super strong or anything, no, but it's this quality of life change that they've probably been asking for quite a while. About bloody time. To my champion, Soraka. Q movement speed increased, decaying more slowly. But did you fix the bug? Following up on the 9.9 changes, Soraka essentially missed on the power level a bit back then. You missed. You completely screwed it. These changes should be significantly enough that Starkle's haste should now be a relevant factor when Soraka and her allies make heat of the moment choices. Okay, fair enough. Starkle, Q, bonus movement speed 14 to 30, now 15 to 35. Movement speed decay from rapidly, now to significantly less rapidly. Okay, this is still bugged. Now, for people who don't know what I'm on about, if you play Soraka or want to play Soraka, since they made the changes to her kit, whenever you take the Starkle, you would gain a passive, right? Called Rejuvenation, which would heal you and give you movement speed. With her changes in 9.9, they completely whiffed that. She got more healing, great. But during the rejuvenation buff, which lasts 5 seconds, her movement speed would decay fully in 1 second. So it wouldn't even last 5 seconds. It was bugged and it was just so frustrating. You literally had no movement speed. You like, so let's say 0.5 per second times, you zoom, and then after that, you're just completely slow. So yeah, they haven't even fixed it. So when I even tested this out before coming on, and the movement speed, don't get me wrong, it's nice. But when it said rapidly, so what they showed for is insane. 5 seconds of movement speed decaying in 1 full second, crazy. And now when they say significantly less rapidly, what it means for is that instead of being 1 second, it's like 2 seconds. They still haven't fixed the core issue of it being bugged. They've just compensated it and increased the movement speed so they don't have to fix the bug. So now instead of actually fixing the bug, they give more movement speed so it decays slower. That's all they've done. They've got lazy with this. It's super bloody lazy. Riot Balance team, I swear sometimes they have... I don't even know how many people are working for them, but I swear sometimes they have a monkey behind there working for them. Trendemir, E cooldown decreased, AP ratio decreased. This champion is just trash. The only thing that's frustrating about him though is his ultimate. Is just you can't kill him, and he just runs away with no help. Just runs away after he's killed you. But you don't really see him that much anyway. So spin and slash cooldown from 13 down to 9, now to 12 down to 8 seconds. AP ratio what? It was 1.0 AP ratio. It was that high on an AD champ who builds crit. That's well. Okay, fair enough. So they're giving him a second on his mobility, which means he can spin more. This really isn't going to do anything for him. They've decreased the AP ratio, which, okay, fair enough. I mean, it's stupidly high anyway. Doesn't need it. And they're making this spin just to have that 1 second extra. 1 second is not really going to solve his issues. He's just a crappy champion. Literally, it's another brain dead champion. Just spins at you, auto attacks, spins away, and then pops his ultimate, and it's like, you can't kill me now. You know, yeah. These kind of champions absolutely kill playing the game. But yeah, ain't gonna do much for him though, really. You ain't gonna see much more of him. Still be the same old, Trendemir is relevant. Vayne, this champion, is crazy good at the moment. Sims of Riven, we want to work on targeting the frustration around playing against Vayne beyond just her raw stats. Right now, Vayne ramps up a little too early, and it's especially frustrating because of how often she goes invisible. These changes should lessen her power spike at level 6. Vayne is the best ADC. Even if this champion is 0-10, I know he has to reference the 10 death power spike. even if this champion is low on farm, super behind, as long as it hits 2-item power spike, this champion is online and will kill you. It is stupidly strong. Used to be exploited early game, and then if you keep him down, you can pretty much make it irrelevant. Doesn't matter. As long as they hit the 2-item power spike, they're super strong. Best champion in the game, great at taking objectives, great at destroying tanks, can easily blow up squishies. By far the best champion in the game, in my opinion. So what have we done? Our final hour. Tumble cooldown reduced from 50 at all percents to 30 to 50. Okay, that's not so bad. Being able to tumble and go in invis so much just at level 6 was frustrating as hell. It's still not like as much of a nerf as I would like, but I will take it. I mean, at least it's not 50% at rank 1, so 20% off of it, it's good. I'll take it, but still, I still think she's slightly too strong at the moment. But, I know there's some item changes in here, so I have to see how that is. Overall, decent nerf. Still going to be like one of the best ADCs though. Xin Zhao. Basically, with the scuttle changes, this champion does not see much play because early game junglers really aren't highly sought after, because other champions can now farm a bit better because of the rift changes from, was it 2:15 to 3:15? Or was it 2 minutes to 3:15? Basically, they added an extra minute onto it. And what they've done, free talent strike from 9 down to 5, down from 6. So an early game champion now has 2 seconds off its Q. I think you max Q first on Xin Zhao. I've never played this champion, but I see it played. I think it's a good champion. I like having Xin Zhao on my team though. He actually has like engaged decent damage, good armor. I think it's a good champion. Even if it's with the Rift Scuttler changes, so this is going to help. An early game champion with 2 seconds off its Q means it's going to be able to clear camps quicker. So I don't understand why I'm not playing early game champions. With this buff, you can clear camps. You don't have to go to Task Scuttler. You could literally clear camps, gank, and then go get your Scuttler if the gank is successful. So when they make it more rewarding, could be quite a decent buff. Maybe not though. Maybe champion people just want to farm, but anyway, good buff. You'll see a little bit more play though, but I could be wrong. I still don't think, if I think about it logically, it's a good buff. People try it out though, but it won't make a messer again. Not until the Rift Scuttler gets changed again. Okay, so let's move on to Zyra. Plants no longer take additional damage from basic attacks that do not trigger on-hit effects. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. Reducing the damage Zyra plants take, especially from those that should trigger additional effects. Damage from basic attack that doesn't trigger on-hit effects, Corky said. So basically what this means, I start talking about Zyra, and it makes me want to sneeze. It must be some pollen in the air. Wait, look at that for a pun. Anyway. So basically what this means is that her plants weren't just dying towards attacks or abilities in general. It's that they were dying to on-hit effects, say like Leandri's Torment's burn. Oh god. I might just have to move on, because I seem to be sneezing a lot just talking about this champion. So this just means that her plants aren't going to be dying to stupid on-hit effects. So, yeah, overall, quality of life change buff to her passive, make her plants go stay around a little bit longer. Shouldn't affect her mid lane too much. I mean, her support role too much though, because let's face it, early game, not really going to have many on-hit effects. But this is probably going to help her mid game out a bit. So yeah, she'll be dealing more damage because her plants will have more uptime. Fair enough, quality of life change, good change to Soraka, I like it. Essence Reaver. We're giving Essence Reaver core users more motivation to consider if they're 5%, 5 more attack. The only champ I ever see build this is Sivir. I really see everyone on the eye of a champion. So it's pretty much just a silver item. More AD, silver will be happy. Silver will see more play. I don't think any other champions really build this. It's a buff. I'm sure they'll take it. Gwynsu's RageBlade. Ooh. Interesting. Phantom hit frequency decreased, armor and magic penetration increased and flattened. RageBlade gives too much power to champions whose abilities naturally align with the frequency of Phantom hits. We're keeping an eye on how much these core users are affected, since we want to keep their Phantom hit synergy relevant, just not as I don't even know what that says. Success defined as it currently is. So some of the major abusers of this item are Vayne and Yi, and they're two of the champions that are currently having some work in this patch. So what they've done, Phantom hit frequency every 2 hits to 3 hits. Okay, that's a 50% nerf straight off the bat. That's massive. You think about it though, so for every other auto attack that you should have had this, you need an extra 1 now. That's going to make it, that's literally a 50% nerf straight to the item, straight to those champions. It's going to make it so much more difficult. Armor penetration though, used to scale from 6%, and now it's at 15 flat. That's still quite big. That's a lot of magic and armor shred. 15 flat is quite a bit, especially to both. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a decent buff, but this is massive. That's literally gonna hit Vayne, because Vayne, that's like Vayne's second item, and it used to be the item that would make her insanely strong. At 2 items, used to be online too early for my liking, and Yi was a heavy abuser of it as well. So that's gonna hit Yi. So with these changes to Yi and the RageBlade, yeah, massive nerf, absolute massive nerf to Yi. I see this actually making him worse than what he is now. Dumpstered. I don't know what they're thinking though. I mean, I'm hoping I'm wrong about this though, but overall, this has a massive nerf. Vayne, with this now, nerf her ultimate, nerf her RageBlade. I would say Vayne's could drop out of S tier, maybe down to A tier now. But yeah, I still think this is one of the most problematic items in the game. It's going to be so difficult for them to like balance it, but this is a good way. So yeah, this item probably won't be second pick anymore. We probably have to get it like 3rd or 4th. But again, that's what it said about the last time as well, and the time before that, and it always kept getting bought 1st or 2nd. But with this change now, you probably have to think of something else, unless I'm completely wrong about the whole thing, and it won't affect him too much. But for me, this should hit him quite hard. Hunter's Talisman, Champion's Pets, attacks now applying on hit, but what? They're pets. That's like, I just think of Elise when I think of that. Since pets feel like a champion's ability, and abilities trigger Hunter's Talisman's burn while making it so that the pets also apply the burn. Hot dogs. Okay, fair enough. I actually quite like that. New passive burns effect now applies on attacks from pets. Also applies to all Hunter's Talisman upgrades, Stalker's Blade, Skirmisher's Saber, and their variants. Least buff. Direct least buff. Runic Echoes. Combine and total cost decreased. Okay, so AP ones, again, I love this. See, it's not like an overpowered amount of gold, but they just rounded it up and make it on. So this, and this Elise is going to be super strong now. You've got Rek'Sai, who's like one of the best junglers, and now you've got the best AP early game jungler. Yep, this is going to be massive for her. You're going to see a lot of Elise, and if people aren't playing Elise, then they're not reading the patch notes or keeping up to date with stuff. So for me, massive buff, straight to Elise alone. Other AP junglers will benefit from this, but this alone, combined with that, is just going to make Elise insanely strong. Good changes. I mean, I'm always quite happy to see Elise not being played for, because let's face it though, that champion is good. I always liked Elise. Has decent CC, decent damage. The repel makes it so it's hard to lock down. This would definitely make Elise a viable champion. I would probably say Rek'Sai's S tier, so I would say Elise has gone from being irrelevant to A tier at least. I could be wrong. but I'm saying at least A tier, maybe S tier with this. I would definitely say A tier is a good bet. Conqueror, true damage and healing decreased. Yes. We hear you, it's too strong, so we're nerfing him. All full stacks. At full stacks, 10% down to 8 of the damage dealt against champions converted into true damage and healing. Okay, so let's say 10% was your 100%, you've lost 20% effectiveness on the rune as it is. And the biggest, one of some of the biggest abusers of this was Riven. So with this being nerfed and Riven's mobility with the shield being nerfed, this is going to hit her quite hard actually. A lot harder than I realised. She'll still be S tier though. I would still definitely say S tier though. But still, this will bring it down a few pecking order, whereas she's going to have a lot more weaker matchups. So good nerf. Probably might need a bit more because it's still like too strong. But yeah, good nerf. Riven nerfs. Runic AP like jungler buffs. RageBlade with Vayne and Yi nerfs. Definitely good. So it's going to make those super oppressive champions, super strongers, a lot weaker and more exploitable. Good changes overall on the patch. I mean, it's a small patch though, but it makes up for having a new champion skins, like, you know, amazing skin line. So, and then we have some ERM balance changes. I promise we continue the update. Okay, so quickly go over it. Damage to turrets increased. Okay, so you take more damage from turrets. Okay, fair enough. Minions wave spawn faster. Minions move faster. Death time is decreased by 5 seconds at rank level 18. Aatrox, no damage taken. Janna damage, plus 10% damage taken, is shield and done. Good, that champion is stupid on ARAM. Maokai, damage taken and 12% damage. Yeah, AP Maokai was just busted on ARAM. Sona, good. That champion's just stupid anyway. Champion buffs. Azir, Kalista, Katarina, Mordecai, Talia, Tristana, Zac, and Zoe. Zoe didn't need it. Zoe did not need it at all. Minus damage, 8% taken. Ew. Rip. Alright, rune adjustments, Gavin Storm, fair enough. Demolished, yeah, Demolished was too strong on ARAM. Okay, bug fixes. Rakan E. Okay, I didn't even know this was a bug. Rakan can now properly recast E battle bands even when his mana is lower than. See, that shouldn't even. Why was this left until now? It explains why sometimes I couldn't recast. I just thought it was just me mismanaging my mana bar. But now I know why. Okay, fair enough. Pumpkin, Gun Goddess, yeah, great. Great skin line. You've got the Basil Academia Ezreal. Oh, I'm getting that skin. Want it. Gonna get the Yumi skin. I'm not too sure about the Lux one though, but yeah. Absolutely fantastic skin. Great skins. Love the skins. Yeah, prestigious skin. I mean, they've even changed the splash art. Literally, Ezreal's down there. The bag. Ezreal's now actually at the bottom of the stairs. It's like a mini story they've changed in it. So, it's good. Oh, I even changed the hair as well. But yeah, good skins. Interesting champion. Some good changes, some good nerfs to some of the stronger champions. Small patch, but not fully what I was hoping for. Overall, I'll take it though. Let me know if you've enjoyed this kind of video and if anything could have been done a bit better. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button if you so you can see when more of my videos get uploaded. But thank you very much for watching this, and until next time, I will see you then.